I decided a while back that I wanted to branch out into YouTube, but I've only just realised I actually need to do stuff and film stuff in order to do that. So here's my second attempt at a YouTube video. Because it's June, I thought I would go over what I've made this year so far and also talk about my biggest learnings from Me Made May 2026. So this was the second year that I ran an add-on challenge to the Me Made May audit fashion sewing challenge. Me Made May, but make it weird. So essentially what that is an add-on challenge. You had daily prompts that were a bit silly, a bit unhinged, some of them, directing you to wear your Me Mades in new ways. The whole reason I started this challenge was to really encourage me to wear pieces in my Me Made wardrobe that I don't reach for, but also to kind of really do an audit of what I've made and what works for me in this stage of life and what's not working for this stage of life. I did a really good audit this year. I think this was the first year I've ever done Me Made May. Well, it's the first year I've completed my own challenge. I didn't do very well last year for various reasons. But anyway, I managed to take photos every day and document what I was wearing. And then I also managed to document what is working in my wardrobe and what's not. Now it's June, I thought I would make some changes to my wardrobe. There's a lot of things that don't quite fit me right or don't suit me, or I feel I could reuse the fabric in a different way. So my aim for June and July is to rejig those things, those clothes, and make them more appropriate for what I need right now. But let's get back to the whole point of this video, which is going over everything I've made in 2026 so far. I haven't been sewing as much as I'd like because I have a toddler. I went back to work after maternity leave in February, and we also recently moved house more than 6 months ago, but we had quite a lot on. So I didn't manage to get much time to sew. I also made this rental-friendly sewing room, which I will eventually show on a YouTube video. It's not finished yet. It's been unfinished for the last 4 months because I need to finish making the drawers for the desk and then unpack the last box that has been haunting me since we moved in. Anyway, I digress again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Actually, one of these is a 12, so 14, I would say. One thing I've noticed from my sewing before Me Made May, before I did the Me Made May audit, was I actually don't have that many clothes I can wear to work. So my main focus this year for sewing has been sewing things that are more appropriate to work. Now, what I've learned from doing the Me Made May challenge is that I have 3 style personas, or 3 styles. One is my work, Alice at work. I need to be smart at work, and I need to be wearing appropriate things. So you can't be too low cut, can't be too short, blah, blah, blah. But I also like the idea of not standing out too much at work. I live in a relatively small place, so I could potentially see a lot of people from work out and about, and I kind of want to separate that part of my life. So work me is very business, office, not casual, but office attire. Blacks, beige is white, kind of just something that I could fade into the background wearing. And then home me, so outside of work me, I could divide that into sort of Home Goblin Alice, which is more shorts, t-shirt, throw on, whatever, comfort, chasing after a toddler style. And then sort of outdoor me, like social me, I guess. I need a name for this one, but that's where I like to wear more colour, more dresses, maybe more fun skirts. So I really realised that from doing Me Made May, but make it weird this year, which is interesting because I'm in my mid-30s now and I'd never realised that before. That's why it's useful doing an audit. Anyway, let's crack on and talk about what I've made. So actually a few of these I started last year when I last sewed, which was mid-year last year. And this was one of them. So this is the Elsa Dress, which is a sewing pattern designed and released by Silversaga. It's a beautiful, I think a beautiful dress. Simple bodice, gathered sleeves, which I love, and gathered panel skirt. Now I butchered this zip, I guess because I was rushing. So don't look at that too closely, but it has a zip that lets you get into the dress. I made this in a viscose linen, which is kind of like a light beigey. This is a colour that I would associate with wearing at work, but actually it is a colour that's in my colour season, so I can wear it at home. And when I did wear it at home, I felt very glamorous. And somebody who came to deliver a parcel said that they liked my dress. Yeah, I'm going to be riding on that until for the rest of the year. That was a nice compliment. Anyway, I love this pattern. Jessica from Silversaga actually sent it to me for free with no kind of obligation to post, and that's never happened to me before, so I felt very, very special to do that. But then it took me a year to actually make it and finish it and kind of do anything. I'm just not reliable, but very kind of her. But I'm very impressed with the pattern itself. The instructions were beautiful. Like, it was a very nice sewing experience despite all the gathering. I mean, I love gathering, but it's a lot of time and effort. A very good kind of, I guess, introduction to her patterns, and so I plan on buying many more of them, particularly the Celine blouse, which just looks gorgeous in every single one I've seen. So that is the Elsa dress. The next dress is that I started last year and finished this year is this Fabric Godmother designed Fleur dress pattern. This is obviously the sleeveless bodice version and the maxi length skirt in this Fabric Godmother viscose linen. It's called Le Weekend. The model is wearing this exact dress, this sleeveless maxi length version in this fabric. So I obviously saw that and I was like, I want that, and I made it. I think with this pattern, I made a few different versions now, and the one that suits me better is the one with puff sleeves as a theme, and the shorter skirt, so like big on top, shorter on the bottom. The sleeveless version, I just think doesn't quite fit me as well. And I do have sleeveless dresses, but I'm a bit self-conscious about my upper arms, and I don't do enough weight workouts to be able to do anything about them. But anyway, that's another issue. And this, I don't know what it is about this style, but I feel like whenever I wear it, it just emphasizes my upper arms. The dart I moved down, I think 3.5 centimeters. I moved it down too far because for my bodice now, at the time I was breastfeeding and I had a different fitting bra, but now things have changed and I've been refit in terms of my bras and everything's changed a little bit. So the dart point's off and I needed to add length to the bodice, and I didn't. So it just fits a little bit too high. So yeah, it just doesn't, I don't feel very confident in it. And I'm disappointed because I just absolutely love this fabric. If anyone's got any ideas what would work, or yeah, anything, just let me know. But I think I want to reuse this fabric and put it into something that I will wear more. So I think I have enough length of this and a little bit left over. I can make a Mollie dress out of it, which is one I'll get onto later, but it's a short shift dress with a big collar. This next make is the side tie top, which I modified to obviously increase the length of the skirt. I really just wanted a side tie dress. I've been seeing a lot of these on Pinterest, and I thought, but they're all kind of short versions, and I really like that because I thought it could be an easy thing to wear at work that you can just throw on over a white blouse and make your outfit a little bit more exciting, but not too exciting for work, because at work, Alice. But then I was like, oh, actually, I saw a few versions which were maxi length. I was like, oh, I love that. I just made so many mistakes. So I did do a toile of the bodice, and I realized that I needed to extend the dart point and move the dart point as well, I think I did with this, and also add a back dart because there's a little bit of gape. But for some reason, and I don't know if you can see it very well, I just didn't add as much length to the dart points, both the new darts that I added to the back of the bodice and then to the bust dart bodice. So it just looks odd, and when I wear it, you just get these pointy bits. I just don't know why I did that. And then the next mistake I made was adding the front panel skirt wrong side out. I mean, I've been sewing for 8 years now? No, almost 9 years, and such a rookie error. And by the time I realised, I'd already closed it, and I just thought, I can't bear to unpick that right now. I need a break. And thankfully, as someone pointed out on Instagram, because I did wear it on one of the days in May, because of the print, you really can't tell. I mean, look, it's very hard to see that that's the inside. You can tell if you look closely, but you know what? No one's going to be looking that close. So the problem is I know, and I'm a big perfectionist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpick. That's one of my plans to modify in June and July, and redo the bust, the bodice, extending the dart lengths. And actually what I might do is use a different gingham. I might reuse this for something else, because this is quite a heavy cotton gingham, and the version I liked that I saw was like a light, really light, it looked like a lightweight linen, maybe linen viscose, and it just sort of felt a bit more airy, because this is quite heavy. So yeah, I think I might make it a new and a different type of gingham. So the next dress, and I've just realised that on the camera you can't really fully see it. This is the Mollie dress that I was talking about earlier. I love this so much. I love a simple shift dress and I love a big collar. So she combined the two, which is just fantastic. As soon as I saw this pattern, I was like, I need that immediately. And I bought it immediately and made this as soon as I could. The actual pattern itself doesn't have the ruffle. It's just a big collar, but given this is such a loud print, I felt that the ruffle was needed to kind of break up, otherwise the collar would just be hidden. It's a really fun construction. You've got a lining. I love using the burrito method, which is what the pattern uses, and yeah, I love this dress so much. I've worn it so many times since making it. There are pockets. I didn't add pockets to this because there's no waistband to pin them into, and that's not my jam. My one issue with this dress is that, and this was completely self-inflicted, firstly I didn't follow the instructions, so I understitched the neckline, whereas actually she just says to, I better double check that, but just edge stitch after you've added the collar. And because I understitched it, I caught up some of the ruffle when I was doing that, so I had to like unpick it, and it just got really, really messy. Also, the added weight of the ruffle really does tug around the V points, so I think the next time I make it, I will definitely reinforce the V, and I can see actually it's coming a bit undone. We'll need to be stitching that. So yeah, adding interfacing to the V points here, because I do want to make another version and add a ruffle collar as well. But next time I'll follow the instructions better. The last dress I've made so far this year is this one I'm wearing. This is a Damson Madder inspired dress out of a fabric I had in my stash. I saw this Damson Madder dress and I was like, oh, that fabric will work quite well for that. This is an Anthea Dress, Anna Allen, her Anthea Blouse dress pattern. One of my favorites. I think I've made, I don't even know how many versions I've made now, but this is the free hack that she has online. I'll put the link below, where the neckline is obviously scooped and she adds a ruffle and a little tie. The inspo picture I'll put here, but it has a keyhole neckline. Now for some reason I just did a tiny keyhole. I could have done a lot bigger. And it also has a keyhole neckline at the back, but I didn't add that just because I thought it might be too much and I just wanted to finish this dress. But yeah, this is it. It's not got pockets, it's got puff sleeves, and it's got the shearing that she suggests. And also you can see I added a scalloped hem, using my sewing machine, just one of the decorative stitches. Now this is my second time doing this, because I'll talk about another blouse I made, and what I didn't realize is that I should have added interfacing or tearaway interfacing to do this. So I haven't washed this yet, but I'm sure that when this goes in the wash I'll have a lot of threads, even though I put what's it called, fray stopper, what's it called, you know what I mean, where you put it on things to stop it fraying. I think all that time making this beautiful scallop and cutting them out with my scissors, I stupidly just should have added interfacing. But anyway, lesson learned. I wore it for the first time today and it's already got some chocolate stains from my toddler, or maybe it's coffee stains, I don't know. Suspicious brown stain, which I promise was edible at the time. In that coffee shop, got a compliment from somebody else in the coffee shop, so that was another I love sewing moment, so really like that. It hasn't happened to me a lot at all. Maybe it's because I'm British as well. I just like compliments. I'm just like, ah! So yeah, I don't think I handled that very well. Anyway, all right, let's talk about the next one. Might just put this on just to show you. This is still missing a button, but this is oh, it looks awful with this outfit. This is the sewing Machina or Machina, Werner or Werner. Just a simple oversized vest pattern. My family and I were planning to go back to the UK this UK winter. Obviously I'm in Australia now, it's winter now, so it gets a bit confusing for me. And I wanted to make like a fleece vest. I saw this remnant and I was like, oh, maybe I'll make it a denim one. And then I used some fabric I had lying around in my stash to line it. It's really fun because every time I go like that, my daughter roars. So she likes it. One problem is I did rush the construction of it before we went away, and I didn't do the buttons very well, and one's fallen off. So one is still in my wallet needing to be sewn back on. But yeah, this was a very easy kind of palette cleanser project, which I rushed. So don't look too closely at all the details. Okay, this next one, and I'm definitely on a theme this year, is another Anthea Blouse hack, but this time it's a blouse version. not the dress version like the one I'm wearing. And this is the first time I did the decorative stitching. So I did it just on the collar here and used frayed check. And she's here. So I did the scalloped edges for the collar and made it out of a remnant that I had left over of, it's a black, obviously black, it's viscose linen. I thought this would be good for work, but also it can be a piece I can wear with some kind of fun coloured skirts at home as well. Obviously love the puff sleeves. And then I made another one in white. I started it last year and then finished it this year, and just similar to the black one I just showed you, but obviously it's got this lace detail and elastic in the cuff. And I made this one scooped. The other one was cut off. It didn't have the scoop, so it's a bit shorter and cropped. But yeah, I love this so much. One thing I wish I'd done, and I don't know why I didn't, maybe it's because I didn't have enough. I wish I'd added more lace, because when I wear it sometimes the lace gets a bit pulled, because it's not cut on the bias, it's lace, for obvious reasons. But yeah, it just pulls a bit funny, and I don't know why I wasn't more generous with the lace. This is the Freya pattern by Veronica Tucker, the label. I've had this in my stash for years. So I really like the style. Like, it's got puff sleeves, it's just a simple shift kind of bodice. I finally got around to making it, and I made a toile as well. And I just didn't love it. Like, the toile has longer arms. I chose the maxi length arms here. And I made this out of an old sheet. Like, it's very much fraying. So it was very much a, let's see how we go. I love the arms. They look so cool, but they're so uncomfortable. Like, I measured the elastic, as she said, it just dug in. So when I then went on and made the actual one, I, rather than followed her technique where you sew the elastic directly onto the sleeve, you don't make a channel or anything, but that means that the elastic is directly rubbing onto your arm. So I did shorter sleeves for the next version and made elastic channels, but it was still uncomfortable. Love the sleeves in theory, hated the sleeves wearing them. And as you can see, it's got a keyhole neckline at the back. Now, what I did differently from the toile is it's bias bound, and all the versions I can see, the bias, but I don't like the way the bias binding sticks out like that. Maybe it's because I need to iron it better, but I don't know, I just didn't like it, and I thought it just looked a bit messy. So for this one, I fully lined it and then understitched it, and I prefer the kind of look of it. But yeah, I wore it for the full day of that Me Made May, and it just wasn't comfortable. I was constantly just, you know, when you're just rearranging yourself all the time. So it's a real shame, but there we go. Not going to make that pattern again. I just don't think I'll make any of our other patterns at the moment unless I can be absolutely swayed. Maybe I just need some time. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you've made a pattern than one of hers and you like it, because she does make beautiful designs. Next up is a new pattern designer to me, but I really like her style. This is the Making Ashley wavy collar blouse. You've probably seen quite a few versions of this on Instagram and Threadloop. They're just beautiful. It's just basically a simple shirt, very simple blouse even, like the collar, the gathered sleeves here, but no kind of placket or anything. So really easy to make. Oh, my toddler's still awake. Ooh, she should be asleep. But the real standout, obviously, for the simple blouse is the beautiful collar. Now, if you know me, you know I love puff sleeves, and you know I love big collars. So this pattern was a must buy in my book. You can still see the blue chalk on the buttons. I need to wash this before I wear it. Really enjoyed making this. My one boo-boo is that I cut 2 collar pieces, not a collar and an undercollar. And obviously it's slightly different, the undercollar, because it's meant to pull the top collar the right way round. I don't think I said that right, but yeah, that was my one boo-boo. But the pattern, the instructions are lovely, like the attention to detail. Like, for example, when you are hemming it, you cut off, not cut off, but you sew a little diagonal so that the hem like perfectly fits around and you don't get any of that weird bunching that you do when you're hemming on some patterns. I really just liked her attention to detail. I really like her style, so 100% would recommend this pattern. And then almost at the end, 2 more to go. This is a Fleur sleeveless top that I started last year, like with the long dress that I spoke about earlier. I actually cut them both out at the same time after making the toile, because I was like, oh yeah, these are both going to be great. I originally wanted to make this a full-length dress, but actually once I made it and tried it on, the same thing with the other dress, it just didn't work. I was like, oh, I'm not going to wear this. So I made it into a top, but I didn't follow the kind of top instructions. I just basically cut the skirt to a length that I thought was good, but then it was too short. So my bad. It emphasizes the arms, which are not my favorite part of my body, and just doesn't really look good. So I'm going to reuse as much of the fabric as I can, which is probably not that much given, you know, it's actually quite a short gather and it's a directional print. I made some chocolate brown linen suiting lane pants, but into shorts with some ruffles. So this was from a remnant that I found, and I really tried to use as much fabric as I could. So the ruffle is very Frankenstein together, but it works. I really like the lane pants pattern, but it just looks very bulky compared to my lane pants trousers, even though it's the same size. So I don't know how I managed to mess it up so much, but these just feel like I'm wearing a big nappy. So I may reuse the fabric. And then last but not least is this Clo bias skirt, also out of the chocolate linen remnant I found. Love this pattern so much. I butchered it just because I used the wrong type of elastic, and that's one of my jobs for this rejigging June and July, to unpick the elastic waistband and insert new elastic that is more appropriate for this pattern and then redo it. But I love wearing this. I feel so glamorous wearing it. I don't know, it falls so nicely because it's on the bias. It's such an easy pattern to make. I can't believe it took me so long to make this pattern. Either I buy patterns immediately when they come out and make them immediately, like with that Mollie dress, or I wait like 5 years and then I say, wow guys, this pattern's amazing, and everyone's like, yeah, we know. So thank you so much for watching my rambling. My toddler is still awake. She's been awake for 2 hours now, trying to get her down, so maybe I should just think that the nap's not gonna happen. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any opinions on anything I've made, or any opinions on what I should make out of the fabric that I'm going to be reusing, please let me know. I'm always curious to hear of new ideas. Any patterns you would recommend, particularly if you've made the Celine blouse by Silversaga and the Anthea, oh, keep touching the microphone, sorry, I'm such a bad YouTuber. Wannabe YouTuber. Yeah, if you've made the Celine blouse by Silversaga and also made the Anthea Blouse hack, please let me know, because they're quite similar patterns. I really want the Celine blouse because I sometimes just don't want to have to do any hacking or math when my sewing time is so precious. Is it worth me buying a whole new pattern when I could just use what I've got already? All right, thank you so much.